So let's have a chat about the A6700 today. I wanted to record this video to explain the reasons why I got the A6700 instead of the FX30. That was the other alternative that I was thinking, and the main reasons that made me took the decision. So if you're considering buying the A6700 or the FX30, you know my point of view after getting the A6700, if that can help you take your decision as well. So when this camera came out, I was waiting for this for already a couple of years. I own the A6300 for 6 years already, and some of the things that the A6300 was good at started to get outdated. I was missing mostly the stabilization, the IBs in the camera, the 10-bit colors, so I could use S-Log3, but there was no good option. Like the A6600 was still 8-bit, this ZB10 was still 8-bit codec with no stabilization. So until the FX30 came out with a new sensor, there was no good alternative option to upgrade my camera. But then the FX30 came as a cinema camera. My idea was to get another hybrid camera to have photography features and video features, because I mostly use this camera for traveling. So having only a dedicated cinema camera, even if I'm going to use it mostly for recording videos, I thought that if I'm going to spend that much money, better do good photos and videos. So the FX30 was not what I wanted, but it was close. It was having the 10-bit sensor, it was also having the flip-out screen. That was something that I was missing as well from the A6700. And then the A6700 came this year, and then I was thinking this is the time I need to upgrade. But I wanted to make sure that I was not doing a mistake. So I started watching the reviews, seeing what people are saying about the camera before it came out, to be able to take a good decision. And apart from that, I was also taking a look at the comments from people about the camera and what people were thinking about, and there was a lot of things to have into consideration. A lot of comments I was reading when doing that research, it was like, if you want a video camera, better go for the FX30, because the A6700 is going to overheat, it's going to be not as good as the FX30, even if the sensor is the same, like the body is smaller. So the overheating was a complaint or an issue that people was thinking about. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that I was not taking other people use cases for mine. Like, I understand, like, if you're a wedding photographer, it makes sense that you have like a fan in the camera and you want it to not overheat. But for traveling, most of the times I record short videos, one at a time, not a long video that could cause overheating, except now that I'm doing these talking head shots for YouTube, that it will be more time. But even that, it's 25p. That's something the camera can handle. If it's 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I think it's more than enough for my use case. So I consider, like, yeah, overheating could be an issue, but yeah, I already had the A6300, and we all know that A6300, A6500, all of these cameras with small bodies have had overheating issues, but this wasn't a problem for me. I haven't had my camera overheating, I think maybe twice recording some long form videos, but I wasn't considering this a problem when I owned the camera. And now that everyone's talking about it, it was more concerning. I have to spend this money and maybe it's overheating after recording a video. But yeah, this was my pre-owning the camera thought process for overheating, and now that I own it and I've used it, I think it's totally fine. Like, it's been recording long videos, short videos, 25p, 50p, and all is good for now. And just in case that's a problem, I got the Yolande fan. Another thing that I was seeing in the comments while doing the research is, for the price that the A6700 has, you can get a full-frame camera like A7C, the A7 IV. But that's something that I was thinking, okay, I can buy a camera, but it's close to the price. I think it's 200, 300 euros difference from one body to the other. But then, like, all the aps-c lenses that I own the 10-18 Sony lens, I own the 15-200, I own as well a 35mm f1.8. All these lenses are aps-c because I had the aps-c camera, and this investment would be not for nothing, because you can use it in a full-frame camera, but you lose quality if you do that. But more than that is, in the future I would need to invest in full-frame lenses, and these are super expensive. Like, one good full-frame lens is more expensive than this camera body, which it's okay. Like, camera lenses are an investment for long term, but I don't plan to spend that much money right now. Like, I wanted to have like a new camera, but the lenses are good for me now. Another factor was that the FX30 had no ABF, and this is something that I use all the time, mostly while traveling, because it's sunny outside and looking at the camera monitor sometimes is difficult because it's too bright, and I was thinking this could be a problem while traveling with the FX30, having to use the screen. I would miss the EVF for sure, like even if it's not a great EVF, I think it's something that the camera needs to record outside properly. Another thing are all the photography features that the A6700 has. If you're a hybrid shooter, as I am, and you use that for traveling, I think all these features are really nice. Like all the autofocus improvements with the AI processor and the mechanical shutter that the FX30 doesn't have. I think this is going to be a massive difference in photography, and I've already experienced that doing pictures. In my later trips, I think it's night and day compared to my previous camera, even though I'd say like photography is something that hasn't evolved that much apart from all these autofocus features, but even though it's much better, and I think I would have missed this with the FX30 if I got this one. Another reason is the price. A lot of comments were saying it's close to the price, like pay a little bit more and get the FX30, that's going to be better. A little bit more, at least in my country, is 700 euros the difference, like it's 1700 for the A6700 and 2300 for the FX30. That difference is a camera body. You could get the ZV-10 for that price. It's not a minor difference in my opinion, and yeah, that was a factor as well in the decision. Like 2300 euros for a camera that I use as a hobby and for side projects, I don't think it's worth the investment. Like it's so much money. I understand that if you are a professional, that you do videos for work, yeah, it's an investment for your career, but not in my case. So the cheaper the better in this case. 1700 is already a lot of money, but it was okay. And then another factor was the weight of the camera. In this case, it's 646 grams for the FX30 and 493 grams for the A6700, which is like around 100 grams of difference. But if I use a small kit lens, the one that I'm using right now, the 60-50, it's 100 grams as well. So it's the body plus the lens is the same weight as the FX30. 100 grams while you're traveling or hiking, this is a massive difference. You start to notice that the camera weight, it's a problem, mostly while hiking in a mountain. Like you want to have like the lightest kit as possible. In the old days of the DSLRs, I was using the Canon 7D, and I remember like how much of an improvement was the A6600 because of the weight and the size of the camera. And I don't want to come not back, but a little bit back, because of having a more camera weight will impact for sure. That factor was important for me as well. Again, these were my decisions. You could relate to this or you couldn't. Could be that you're considering buying this camera for professional purpose, but as a travel camera, I think it's really good. As a video camera, it's also really good. Even people say like that's not good because of the overheating. I think it's a great camera, like it creates great videos. And yeah, for me it's an investment. I don't know if it's going to be good long term. Maybe we can chat again in 1 year and I can do like a 1 year later video about it and see how it was. For now, it's been a month and a half owning the camera, and so far I'm super happy about the upgrade, and I think I did a great decision buying the camera. Let me know in the comments below if you have any question about the camera, something that you want to know before buying it. I also recommend you to watch the other video I created about this camera. It's about 6 things that I didn't know before buying the camera and I realized just after getting it. So yeah, that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.